I think
Hitler's
I've made my point.
atheism beliefs did not lead to anything to do with the Jewish genocide. Second
Oh,
of all,
really? Oh, really?
second
Hitler
of
held a
all,
belief system, and it didn't have
Karlyn,
anything to do with him
you're
killing 6
putting
million Jews.
Karlyn,
Sure.
you're putting words in my
Okay.
mouth again.
Oh, sure.
I did not say that your belief. She said, yeah, they do. Everyone who died in the Holocaust chose to die in the Holocaust before they were ever born because they collectively wanted to understand the experience of ultimate oppression. That's why Hitler went to heaven. Oh man, that's a take right there. Holy, that's a take. It's as hot as a fucking oven. All right, that is a oven hot take right here about the Holocaust, Karlyn. Hello.
Hello.
I do not have my video on. I hope that's okay. I'm on my video on stream, so.
Where are you streaming?
Twitch.
Okay.
I'm not here to yell at you. Don't worry.
Hunter, we have always had an okay relationship, so that's why I agreed to talk to you.
Hopefully we can keep it that way, because this is a pretty spicy take we got here.
I am coming in good faith. I am assuming that you have also come in good faith.
I am. Yes, I
and I'm happy to answer questions while I have my coffee.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I want to start with, is just mainly just a lot of questions. So
Sure.
The first things first, you've probably seen the fact that you're getting a fuck ton of backlash on Twitter for this take.
Yes, I routinely care about getting backlash on Twitter. It's the thing that's at the top of my mind.
Right. And, people are calling this like the worst take they've ever seen. So obviously, now in good faith, I'm going to say I don't think that what you're referring to right here in this tweet, when you say everyone who died in the Holocaust chose to die in the Holocaust, I don't think what you're referring to is that they literally chose, as if Jews were like, hey, let's get Holocausted, lol. I know that's not what you meant, but what do you mean from this tweet?
We have to start off with an acknowledgement that this tweet was pulled out of context of a larger discussion that I was having. Basically, okay, it wasn't a discussion. I was trolling Christian conservatives. That's what happened. I was trolling Christian conservatives.
What's the larger discussion?
So we have to start with an understanding that there is a difference between how we perceive something on a human level and how we might look at it on a spiritual level. When I say stuff like this, I'm not talking about what I, Karlyn Borysenko, as a human being would choose. Of course, I wouldn't choose to be in the Holocaust. That's stupid. But there are reasons on a spiritual level that we might make certain choices to have certain oppressive experiences in this lifetime. These are two completely different contexts. Now, I was trolling Christian conservatives for a good day and a half over the abortion argument because I think they're being idiots. And I was just trying to piss them off. And so at some point it changed into a spiritual discussion about, looking at like my belief system versus theirs. I'm not a Christian. I've never been a Christian. I have a completely different worldview than most Christians. And so at some point I said something like, yeah, I think we all make decisions about our life before we come here. I think we all, every single one of us, choose how we die before we come here. Every single one of us. Everyone who's ever lived, everyone who's ever died.
But weren't you using that reasoning to more or less say that fetuses that were aborted chose to be aborted?
Yeah. Which I do believe is true. I believe on a spiritual level, not a human level, spiritual level, that's true. I also believe that when women have abortions or miscarriages, there is a more than likely chance that that baby is going to come back in a future baby, the spirit baby, not the human baby. I'm not talking about resurrecting zombies.
Right. I guess my issue here is, do you feel like this is a little bit of like a coping mechanism? Like,
no.
It's a lot easier, for example, to believe that somebody who died wanted to die rather than them somehow dying begging for their life or something. Like,
no, what you have to understand is that in my belief system, you have to take responsibility for every single part of your experience. So just as much as I get to take responsibility for the good parts of my experience and all these amazing things that happen in my life and the fact that I have a wonderful family and home and all these things, I get to take responsibility for that and celebrate that. But it also means I have to take responsibility for the worst parts of my experience, the things that cause me the most pain, the things that hurt the
But that's
most.
not true because the good things that you're
I
celebrating are based on your own accomplishments. They're worth celebrating. If you're a
I
victim of some kind of atrocity, it doesn't seem that that's your
I
choice.
believe that on a spiritual level, we are responsible for everything in our life. Everything, the good and the bad.
But
You
this
can't have
is
good without bad. You can't have hot without cold. You can't have light without dark. We're responsible for everything in our life. It's like ultimate accountability.
okay. I agree that you cannot have evil or you cannot have good without the existence of evil and everything there. Sure,
Hmm.
but I don't agree with you at all that we need to take responsibility for everything that happens in our life. Again,
You're allowed not to believe that.
but you're celebrating your accomplishments. Then you're saying you also need to take responsibility for bad things that happen to you. What if you're a victim of something that was because of nothing that you did?
I would argue that there are reasons that people end up in very bad situations, some of which have to do with lessons that they want to learn in this lifetime that they made on a spiritual level, not a human level, a spiritual level.
So
There's
this
a
is why I'm
concept.
having a big problem with it is this I'm
We
not
don't have the same belief system. Like, here's the
but
thing.
I'm
Here's
not
the thing.
accusing you of coping, but I'm just saying this is generally sounds like a cope. So if I have a
So,
grandparent, I'll explain why that's bad. If I have a grandparent,
okay.
right, it's a lot easier to believe, or no, I'm sorry. If I have a friend who was shot in the head as they're on their knees pleading to live, that feels a lot worse to me than someone committing suicide. Both
Hmm.
sad. However, the person that committed suicide wanted to die. They had that desire there that was ultimately fulfilled. So it almost softens the blow. It makes the sadness a little less because at the end of the day, they got what they wanted. They chose this as opposed
Hmm.
to the person begging for their life. This spiritual thing that you're setting up makes it so that you are able to essentially put the onus on everyone for everything bad that happens to them. So
Yes.
yes, so the Holocaust victims, well, they just
Everything good too.
but
Everything
okay,
good
but
too.
but the problem with that is, well, then the Holocaust victims, I mean, it's bad that it happened, I guess, but like they ultimately just wanted that to happen, right? The spirits wanted that to
On
happen.
a spiritual level, and again, everything that you just said is on a human level. I don't really care if people agree with my belief system. Like, I don't care if you agree with me. But on a spiritual level, yes, there is a school of thought that says that every single person who died, this is something that's been discussed ad nauseum in the spiritual community.
No,
This
no, I
is
know. I'm
not
just
like
trying to understand more.
this is not a concept that I'm pulling out of left field. There is a school of thought in the spiritual community that says that every single person in spirit form
Mm-hmm.
that was in the Holocaust decided to be in the Holocaust. It was an agreement they made in spirit form before they ever came here. Now, why would that happen? Why would that be a thing that anyone would want to experience? It's the most horrific thing that's ever happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it gives us experience. It because it's as a collective, because we believe that everything that everyone experiences in this human lifetime goes back up into the collective and is something we all have access to. If we have knowledge of the worst possible thing that ever could happen, that helps all of us to develop on a spiritual level.
Yeah,
And it
but we could
also gives
hypothesize.
and it also gives us the ability and the information to make sure that something like that never happens again.
Okay, so part of what makes humans really complex and unique is our ability to hypothesize and imagine
Sure.
hypotheticals. We don't need to experience a mass genocide of Jews to understand that that's bad. Humans
Of course
already
we
can
do.
No, we
Of course
don't.
we do, Hunter.
We can already recognize that it's
Can
bad
you
because we have the ability
imagine what our
to engage
reality
with the
would be like
hypothetical.
right now? Can you imagine what our reality would be like right now if we didn't have the Holocaust to compare it to?
What? But that's not necessarily a good thing. And the big problem here that we have is this mindset, this spiritual thing justifies and basically gives credence to every serial killer, Hitler, all of these people that did bad things. They were
Yep.
actually just doing good things because they were carrying.
No, no, no,
Hold
no,
on,
no,
hold on.
no.
Because
Don't
they were.
don't put words in my
I'm
mouth.
not
I
putting
didn't
words.
say
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I
you
did not
did.
say.
You said
No,
you
I didn't. I'm
did. You
not saying
said
that you
yes,
said
you did.
this.
I'm gonna stop you right there
Karlyn, I didn't
because
say
I
that you
can
said this.
Hunter, stop talking for a second. You said that I said that this was a good thing. I don't think the
No,
Holocaust was good.
I'm
I
not.
don't think that serial killers are good. I think it is what is. I think that you cannot have good in life without having bad. I don't think you can
Mm-hmm.
experience the best in people without experiencing the worst in people.
So
That's
if
balance.
somebody
That's just
is
life.
going out, so Adolf Hitler, or let's just make a
Mhm.
serial killer. Okay, they go in, they kill 3 people in their house. Now, by
Mhm.
your reasoning, is it not true that the reason they were killed is ultimately because they made that decision in spirit form before they were born?
Yes.
Okay, so does this not, in some level or another, justify the acts of the murderer because he was carrying out the desire of the spirits?
Does it justify it? I mean, justify based on what standard? Because on a
Based on
human
your
level,
standard, it is justifying it.
based on a human level, is it okay to kill people? No. That's stupid. Like, why would like that person's gonna have karma follow them around the rest of their lives? That person's gonna have mental anguish for the rest of their lives over what they did. On a human level, there's no justification. It's not even about justifying. It's like you did something really bad that disrupted someone else's life experience. It doesn't actually matter if you made the decision in spirit form or not. You're still going to experience the human consequences of making that decision. But in spirit form, is that person going to be judged forever? Is that person going to be hated and cast out to hell? Is that person going to be separated from God? No. It's a completely different standard.
Sure, maybe. I just think that ultimately, by your standards, it does give justification to people like Adolf Hitler, to people like serial killers,
You're
because what?
talking about a human level. I'm not.
Because on a spiritual level, it's justified by your
Yeah.
standards, right? Because they are
Everything,
carrying out
everything,
desires of the
everything,
spirits.
everything is justified on a spiritual level. Everything. You can have whatever you want on a spiritual level.
I think I want to back
That's
up a
not.
little bit and just go back to what you said earlier about like the Holocaust happening and sort of us like having something as a point of reference. Like we're able to
Mhm.
look at nuclear war, for example. We're able to like that's never
Nuclear
happened.
war is not as bad as the
That
Holocaust.
I know, but I'm saying that's never happened. But we're still able to engage in the hypothetical and be like, okay, this would be bad, so we don't want to do it. We don't need to
Knowing something
experience
is
bad
bad,
things.
that's wrong. Knowing something is bad and actually experiencing it are two completely different things. Human beings only learn by experience. That's why experience is so important. Human beings we can think about any hypothetical we want, but until it actually slams us in the face, we aren't going to learn.
That's just not true. I don't think that this is
I
true. And I also think
vehemently
that this is
disagree with you.
really dangerous because I think that this is ultimately like
Okay.
I
What
don't
what
know.
what 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 war or atrocity has my belief system ever started? You want to talk about
I'm not saying anything that started.
you want to talk about dangerous, let's talk about the Inquisition, let's talk about the Crusades,
Wait,
let's
I
talk
don't
about the
like
Salem witch
religion, Carlin. I
trials.
don't like spirituality in general.
But you're insinuating that my belief system is going to lead to a mass atrocity. My belief
No, I'm
system
not.
has
I'm insinuating
never
that your
led to a
belief
mass
system.
atrocity
No, I'm not.
in the history of
I am
mankind.
saying that your belief leads to a level of justification for people to commit atrocities because
Those
like
people who commit
why don't you go
atrocities will experience very real
but why
human
don't we go look at
consequences.
like acts of Islam, for example? Like a lot of the times these people believe that they're carrying out acts of violence
And those
to
people
save those people
experience
from their human form or to go to Allah or whatever.
human consequences. And I'm going to remind you again, my belief system has never resulted in that. It's never resulted in that because we believe in human consequence. We believe
Then
we
I
create
guess what
every
I would just
bad thing
have
in
to
our
I think
lives.
I would just have to fall back on then what you're saying about the spiritual choice is a meaningless choice then. If I don't remember making the choice, what's the point of the choice?
The point of the choice is that there is a higher there it's a different realm of existence, Hunter. You're not going to
It's a
remember what you
meaningless realm of
decided.
existence then.
It's meaningless as a human, but not as a spiritual being. If
It's
you think
meaningless
like
to even
that's
think about because all
ridiculous.
this is just a hypothetical that
Oh,
maybe this
well,
happened in in like
you
spiritual
know, it's
form and
funny.
we all
So
chose
one
this.
of the things that I've gotten heat for is saying that Hitler went to heaven because I don't believe that hell is a real place. I think that hell is a made up
I
like
don't really
thing
care
to
about the
control
Hitler
people.
went to
No,
heaven
no,
thing.
no. I'm going to make a point without being talked over, please. So you say it's a meaningless exercise. I don't believe it's meaningless at all because my definition of hell is being separated from God, is seeing myself as separated from spirit form, is seeing myself as separated from God. So for me, it is very much a meaningful thing to think about the higher level spiritual perspective. For you, it might not be. It might not be part of your life. It might not be part of your journey. Maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you will be someday. I wasn't when I was your age.
I understand that.
But to say something is meaningless to you does not mean it is meaningless to everyone.
I'm not saying it's meaningless to you or me necessarily. I'm saying that this choice that you keep talking about, like people who
Mhm.
died in the Holocaust who chose that to happen in their spirit form,
Well,
who,
to
hold
be
on,
really
in their
clear, to
spirit
be
form.
really clear, I believe every single person who has ever lived, is living now, or will ever live, chose their death. I'm just being inclusive.
Right. And what I'm saying is
Everyone
that
means
that
everyone.
choice, the choice that we made that you're alluding to in our spirit form, is a
Mhm.
meaningless choice. If we don't remember the spirit form and we don't remember making the choice,
I
the
disagree.
purpose of the choice is completely irrelevant.
I absolutely disagree with you.
So what's the purpose of the choice if you don't even remember making the
The
choice?
purpose of the choice is to come to life and have the experience and to learn and to grow and then to go back and to review the experience and then to come back and do it again and to do it again and to do it again as many times as you want to.
You don't just think that this sounds like some kind of a form of like a coping mechanism? Like if you're being
No.
tortured and beaten, you're like, well, this sucks, but hey, I must have chosen this in my spirit form. Or like, it
People
sucks
choose
that my
negative
kid
things to
was
happen to
kidnapped
them.
and killed, but hey, I
Do
guess I
you hang
chose this
on?
in
Do
spirit
you
form.
do you learn the most from when good things happen to you or when bad things happen to you?
I don't know. You can probably build character from bad experiences, but that doesn't justify
Exactly.
atrocities, murder,
Exactly.
rape, or something
You
like that.
build character through bad experiences, you build a resilience through bad experiences. The greatest jumps in spiritual development that we have are when the worst possible things happen to us and when we experience the most pain.
I can recognize again that we
Has
can.
anyone ever read Night by Elie Wiesel?
Hold on, wait. You can build character.
Anyone ever read Night by Elie
Wait,
Wiesel?
Karlyn,
Anyone ever read The Diary of Anne Frank? Like, I mean, these are not
you can
abstract
build
concepts.
character
These
from.
are literally
Oh my god.
illustrated in books
You can
that are
literally
taught all
build
over the
character
world
from negative
about the
experiences.
Holocaust.
Carlin,
Yes.
Carlin, you can build character from negative experiences, yes, but that doesn't mean that those negative experiences are somehow justified. Or haven't you heard like make the best, right? When life gives you lemons, it
Again,
doesn't
you
mean
are
it's a.
talking about Hunter, you are talking about a fundamentally different thing than I am. You are talking about a human justification. There will always be human punishment. There will always be
But
human
so
suffering
again,
that
it's
comes from
meaningless
these.
then. So it's meaningless.
To you, not to me.
Okay. I guess then there's just nowhere else
We
to
are
go from
talking
there.
about two different things. If you have no interest in understanding different ways of perceiving the world, I can't help you with
I
that.
cannot
I can
imagine
only
perceiving the world
come.
in a way that I think that people who died in the Holocaust somehow collectively chose that in the spirit realm.
Well,
To
I can't
me, that
imagine
sounds like.
perceiving the world in which there's a vengeful God that's waiting to smite us at
I don't
all
think
that
of
all
that either.
sides.
I'm not a
I
Christian.
also
I think
I also
Christians are
can't
dumb. I
imagine
think that Muslims are pretty
I
dumb.
also can't imagine perceiving a world in which there's no higher purpose to any of this and no rhyme and reason and we just get snuffed out when we die. I can't imagine either of those things.
That's
I
the
think
most
both of
likely
those
thing, I
things.
think.
Well,
If
but
I think
you're
the most like.
allowed to believe that, but that to me seems like my very definition of hell.
Okay, well, before you were born, you didn't exist. You just didn't exist.
I
That's
don't I
probably
don't
what it's
agree with
going to.
that. I believe that I absolutely did exist as a spiritual being, just not in human form.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's just that I know that we have kind of what is it? Irreconcilable
We don't
differences here.
agree. We don't
Yeah,
agree.
these are
And
fundamental
Hunter
differences. It's
and
just to
Hunter,
me,
here is the thing. Here's the thing. This
it's
whole
not just
thing
that we
for
don't
me,
agree though. It's that this actually does provide a level of justification. Like, let's think about the way
in
that
your but
no, the
that you
way
would
that people's
Hunter, you are literally
spirituality.
only saying that because you do not
That is not
understand the
true.
belief
I'm
system
saying
that you're
that
talking
people's
about. I'm
spiritual
sorry.
Carlin,
And this
I
was
am
the whole basis for this
no,
conversation.
Carlin, I am
I
literally
did Hunter, I did not come on here before I had my coffee to be yelled at. I
I'm
came
not
on here to have
you're
a
talking over
conversation.
me.
This whole thing started because I was trying to illustrate emphatically that people on the internet were not capable of disagreement. We are allowed to have different belief systems.
I
We are
know,
allowed
but
to
that's why we're
have different
talking about them,
perceptions of the
right?
world. What is the First Amendment of the Constitution? Freedom of religion. I'm allowed to believe whatever the fuck I want.
So, do
I am
you think
allowed
that
to believe
people's
weird
spiritual
shit. You're
beliefs,
allowed to
do you
believe
think
weird
that
shit.
people who have spiritual beliefs that sometimes influences their behavior in human form?
Not my spiritual beliefs. Christianity, sure. Yes.
Okay,
Islam, yes.
so a general understanding then is that certain levels of spirituality can affect your human life.
I think
And so
that
my prop
certain
hold on,
types
wait,
of
Carlin,
I think
Carlin,
that certain
please don't
types of
talk over
belief
me.
system
Please.
are more
I'm
likely to result in atrocities than other.
I'm
And
not saying
my belief
result in
system has never in
atrocities.
the history of humanity resulted in an atrocity.
Okay, I'm not necessarily saying resulting in atrocity here. What I'm getting at is that it provides a level of justification. And I'm going to keep going back to this until I'm able to get my full point out, which is that people's spiritual beliefs can absolutely play a role in influencing their day-to-day behavior. And these spiritual beliefs that you are presenting, not you personally, but the spiritual beliefs that you are presenting, provides a level of justification for atrocities committed in human form. Because what you're saying is that, well, if all the spirits collectively chose to suffer in the Holocaust, then Hitler is at some level justified in carrying out the Holocaust.
Then give me a single example in all of human history when someone has used that as a justification for committing an atrocity.
Remember how I said humans
You do need to.
No,
you do
humans
need to. You
can
are
engage
the one
in
making the
hypotheticals,
argument.
remember?
You are the one making the argument that this is justification. Provide me one single instance in all of human history when anyone who has committed an atrocity has used this specific belief system as justification for committing that atrocity. Just one.
I don't need to do that.
Hunter,
No, I
because
don't.
that's the argument
We're talking about a hypothetical
You're making
here.
an argument that's roughly akin to saying communism just hasn't been tried. Like, are you shitting me?
I'm
Please.
posing you a potential issue with this mindset, and I'm asking you if you think that that's possible that could happen.
It has not happened in all of human history, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Yeah, I guess this just kind of goes back to what I was saying before, is how like
if you could
you're
provide
able
me
to
a
engage in
single
hypotheticals,
example
right?
in all of human history of it happening, then
it doesn't
I would
have
say
to be
yes,
a huge
maybe
genocide. It's this mindset right here that's giving some kind of a level of
Provide
justification.
me one single example in all of human history when it's happened.
Your tweet, Karlyn,
Oh,
is providing.
my tweets are an atrocity?
No,
are my
hold on,
words
no. I didn't
violence,
say
Hunter?
atrocity.
Are
I said
my
justification.
Words violence?
I did not say atrocity. I said justification. Because if you believe that all the spirits collectively chose to suffer in the Holocaust, then Hitler is at some level justified in carrying out those acts.
Every single person chooses their life experience. Every single one.
That's
every single one.
But then that also gives a level of justification to people that commit heinous acts, right?
And yet no heinous acts have ever been committed in the name of this belief system in the entirety of human history, and you cannot give me one example of when that's happened. I can give you an example of when heinous acts have been committed in the name of Christianity. I can give you an example. I can give you, because this started as trolling Christians, so we're going to keep on topic. I can give you an example of when heinous acts have been committed in the name of Islam. I'm not either. I can give you examples of when heinous acts have been committed by communists in China in the name of their religion, which is communism. I can give you an example of when heinous acts have been committed in the name of Black Lives Matter in the United States. I cannot give you one single solitary example of when my belief system has resulted in a heinous act on any mass scale, and you can't
just if
either.
Your belief system hasn't resulted in some kind of a genocide or something doesn't mean it's a good belief system. Okay, so this is a really weird standard to set. Second of all, just if I don't have an example.
And by the way, Hitler was an atheist, wasn't he?
Second of all,
Hitler an atheist?
I don't know.
Hitler was an atheist.
I don't know if he was or not.
Pretty sure Hitler
because
was an
again,
atheist.
I'm not saying that
your
this has happened.
Your belief system resulted in the Holocaust.
I'm not saying that this has happened.
Your belief system is justifying the Holocaust.
Karlyn, it's not really very fair to just talk over someone if you're trying to have a conversation with them.
I'm playing by the rules you set, dude. I came into this conversation with good faith, ready to have a
I am
nice
being
extremely
good faith.
You're
not
you're
letting
the one
me answer
saying that
questions
my
or ask
belief
questions.
system has justified something that's never happened. When I can point to the Holocaust and say that Hitler was an atheist, and therefore your belief system justified the Holocaust.
First of all,
Congratulations.
okay, do I get a chance to talk?
Your belief system justified the murder
do you want me to
of 6
just mute
million
you so you can finish
Jews.
conversing? Again, Hitler's atheism beliefs did not lead to anything to do with the Jewish genocide. Second of all,
really?
Second
Hitler
of
held
all,
a belief system, and it didn't
Karlyn,
have anything to do with him killing 6 million Jews.
Karlyn, you're putting words in my mouth again.
Oh, sure.
I did not say that your belief provided a justification, past tense. I said it's possible that it can provide a justification, and that's what one of the dangers of this belief system seems to be, that you provide a level of justification for people that are committing heinous acts. Just if that's never happened on a large scale on a fucking genocide doesn't mean that this is not a potential problem with this belief system.
Well,
so
unlike atheism,
you are actually being bad faith right now by demanding I provide this hyper-specific thing and then saying Hitler was motivated by atheism to commit the Holocaust.
Atheism, there has not ever been one single mass atrocity in human history attributed to my belief system. Hitler was an atheist.
Is this all you have?
Atheism justified the Holocaust. Therefore, your belief system justified the Holocaust more than mine.
Congrats, I guess. You've never done the Holocaust. It's just that what
I
you
must
seem to be
play by the
getting at
rules
right
you
here is
said,
ultimately
Hunter.
that they are making a decision to be holocausted on spiritual form, which in the only
They're making
logical follow
everyone
through.
makes every decision.
Yes, and the only logical
spirit
follow
form.
through there is your desires are being filled out by someone else, even if it's a heinous act, which provides a level of justification. That is what I'm getting at. That's it. I would just like I would like it if you were be able to admit that.
Hitler was an atheist. Atheism justified the Holocaust.
All right, well, I can definitely say that this conversation your belief system has resulted in a genocide of my brain cells. So thank you.
Better than a genocide of 6 million Jews, I suppose.
If you actually think that was any kind of a dub or a gotcha or anything at all, it wasn't. Like you acted in bad faith, Karlyn. I was actually trying to be good faith, but you acted in bad
Hunter,
faith.
at no point in this discussion did you even try to understand the belief system.
Hitler also drank water. He breathed
faith,
air. Dude, holy shit. I can't believe that went so badly. People may not realize it, but the divergence of opinion between Pell and Dawkins reflects deep divisions among historians themselves as to what the Nazis believed about religion. So just so you guys know, the fact that Karlyn came in here was like, well, he was a fucking atheist and your beliefs caused that, bitch. When this is actually something that's hotly contested, that is the definition of bad faith. Holy shit! Now she's just lying. Can someone help me, please? Chat, anybody, help me. When did I say that it was justified under atheism? This is like deranged. He never said that, and his point of the debate was because the Jews wrote in the spirit realm they wanted to die in a Holocaust, it justifies Hitler's actions because he's doing the work of the spirit realm. Yes, thank you, Shy Doomer. Yes. I was literally explaining to her how a hypothetical could lead to a justification for these kind of things. I got Hunter to admit the Holocaust was justified by atheism? I don't even know what I said that could be construed as that. I literally told her to stop lying about me in the DMs, and then she responded that that's what happens when you don't act in good faith. So it sounds like she's admitting to lying about me and is now acting in bad faith because of it. Are you kidding me right now? Yeah, I don't care. Fuck it. You want to play bad faith? I'll play bad faith back. I don't care if I leak DMs. It's not like there's anything even on here. But yeah, that way you know I'm not just making shit up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified when I drop a new video.